I'm recording this the morning after the winter solstice, and I've been thinking about two types of darkness. I've been thinking about the seasonal type of darkness that we get in the Northern Hemisphere at this time that calls us into deep rest and hibernation, inwardness, and a sense of haiga, or just being cozy and connected with family. And I'm also contemplating the darkness in the world. So I've been watching about Gaza for pretty much since it began, but I have not been posting here. I've been posting tons on Facebook. Sometimes I'm watching hours a day, and I'm seeing the atrocities. I'm seeing, even recently, bulldozers bulldozing people who were camped in front of a hospital. I'm seeing people being killed in a field-style execution, men whose hands are tied behind their back and told to kneel and shot in the back of the head. I'm hearing from analysts that this means that the state of Israel is getting bolder and bolder, and so I'm holding that darkness. Before this, I was actually getting really depressed about climate change. I know many have been carrying that for a long time, and I've been thinking about it for a while, but it just sort of really hit for me in early October. And then there's other genocides and wars. There's other social problems locally. There are a lot of things. And so those are the things I sort of think about, the darkness in the world. And regarding the Israel-Gaza situation, it makes me think a little bit of an unmasking when I have learned how much the U.S. has intervened in the historic apartheid of Israel on the Palestinians, how many times that was brought to the UN to try and have it stopped, and how many times the U.S., 42 times, has intervened to allow Israel to continue with its apartheid behavior over decades. And how much the U.S. has funded Israel. The U.S. gives Israel more than any other country receives in foreign aid anywhere in the world. And I think about having a completely impoverished global south and that sort of thing. And I think about foreign aid as being something to help level out prosperity and issues of colonialism. And it's not. It's to support geopolitics in the world. At huge human expense. And so I feel like there's this unmasking of assuming what we thought of Western civilization as being sometimes kind, sometimes caring about what is good, sometimes being civilized. And I feel like the mask of that civility is completely removed, and we're seeing just demon monsters underneath. And that's scary. That's fucking scary. And I think that we need to... I think there's many of us who feel a very strong urge or impulse for change. A very strong urge or impulse to live in a world where so much systemic suffering is not caused compared to the one that we live in, which causes so much, almost endless systemic suffering for so many different people and for so many different creatures on this earth. And I think we're moving towards something. I think that we're in a moment where, like the poem about living into the questions in order to live into the answers, I think we're in that moment. I think we don't know where or what shape the world we want will take exactly. I think it's hard to fully envision, but I think that we're pregnant with it just due to the need and the longing. I think just due to the need and longing for what we need to live okay in the world and know that others are okay in the world. I think that need, that longing is so strong in us that we will birth this unknown factor in somehow. I don't know how. But my invitation to you is that we hold space in ourselves for some kind of sacred prayer, for some kind of prayer to the divine, to our maker, to whatever we believe made us, made the trees, made the rivers and the sky, and whatever that is, holding that in our hearts and holding this deep wish, this deep longing, this deep need as a prayer to the maker for something that is kind and just, for finding our individual way in this very awful time. I've been calling it a strange time lately, but truly there's a lot of awfulness. There's not only awfulness, but there is a lot of awfulness. And so the prayer is, just guide me. Guide me, Maker. Help me become the part that I need to be in the future that we need to live a better life, to live a better world. The prayers that I have, the manifesting I want to do is not around wish list stuff. It's around birthing a healthier, more caring world that incorporates, that is based on connection to nature as equal and to all humans as equal, and based on slowness and wisdom. The slowness to find wisdom as opposed to hostility, reactivity, and grabbing, greedy hands grabbing globally. Anyway, thank you. Many blessings this solstice morning. I hope you can keep the light within you, and I hope that you can hold space in yourself to ask these questions.